Hey guys, excuse me. Welcome back to Tarot Tuesday. Today is the 6th of August. Um, you may have noticed something is a little different this time. I will explain this and probably a few other things in a video to come later. But for now, let's focus on what we came here to talk about. This week's aspect actually won't be here until this weekend. It happens on Sunday the 11th. Lots of doings going on, so it's kind of more important to focus on this than anything else going on in the sky, because what you've got is three things on one day within 12 hours. So it's all going to go down on Sunday the 11th. To begin with, very first thing, Uranus goes direct. Or not Uranus, I'm sorry, Jupiter. Jupiter goes direct, represented by the Wheel of Fortune. A stroke of good luck, things turning in your favor, growth, expansion, kind of good fortune in general. This is the province of Jupiter as the Wheel of Fortune upright. Then, Mercury moves into Leo, represented first, Mercury is the magician, and Leo is strength. Together, these cards are it sort of feels redundant to say that you're the sort of the architect of your own power, but that's exactly what these cards together represent, is a chance to be, the architect of your own power, the source of your own strength. That includes getting to decide what shape it takes, what form it takes. So it's not just what are you good at, but what do you want to be good at? The next few weeks while Mercury is in the sign will be an opportunity for you to sort of chase that. Last of all is Uranus retrograde, represented by the Fool inverted. And this is weird as far as the other two aspects are concerned, because these two things seem really, really positive. And they are. They're very positive. But coloring all this, or being colored by it, is sort of like the beginnings of a kind of a rude awakening as far as your naivety is concerned, or your lack of knowledge about something is concerned. We are at the precipice of beginning something new. All of us, the collective in general, is at this place where we're about to start some new thing for ourselves. Something new is going to grow, and it's going to help us discover our strength as creators, but it's going to take, realizing that the thing we want to make is a little more involved than maybe we first expected or anticipated. But it's going to be a week, a day really, of just. This is definitely one of those bat and the hatches things. Not because it's going to be bad, just because it's going to be intense. So you want to get ready for that if you can. And you want to be as ready for that as you can. So many things moving into Leo. This is the beginning of kind of a busy time. You'll see this or you will have seen this already if you're a subscriber to the Night Sky newsletter that I write every month. But the Sun, Venus, and Mars get along very, very well for the next month or so while they're all moving through signs together. There will be a period sometime towards the end of August where all three of them are in the early degrees of Virgo. And this is sort of like a teaser of the way that things are just going to be really, really expansive in terms of the energetic feeling of what's going on around us. But in the meantime, rather than tell you what to do with the energy, I'm going to tell you what to do to prepare for it. So what can you do to prepare for Jupiter direct? What can you do to prepare for Uranus retrograde? What can you do to prepare for Mercury's return to Leo for keeps this time? Let's find out together. So, as always, we'll start with the current sun sign, which is Leo. The Hierophant. Traditions. Old ways. There are times where the appearance of the Hierophant is a sign of being stuck, to being too rooted, too fixed on the past and on legacy and heritage and those sorts of things. This is not one of those times for you, Leo, I don't think, especially not since Mercury's coming into your sign. Rather, I feel like this is a time for you to lean on your traditions, your heritage, these things that you do not as a force of habit, because it's deeper than that. Like these are learned things that have meaning that you've put work into. I think you definitely want to lean on those, Leo, to help you ride these waves. It'll be a little easier for you than the rest of us because Mercury is going to be in your sun sign. Those of you who are Leo Mercuries in your natal chart will also probably have a pretty easy time adjusting to this. But for Leo suns, stick to what you know. The old saying about how the devil you know is always preferable to the one you don't is one that I think holds true for you in the run up to Sunday. So, like remembering who you are is important as you step into who you're going to become. For Virgo, we have the Three of Swords. This card never gets less sad when I see it, particularly not this one. But you need what you're gonna want to do, Virgo, as we approach this Sunday of changes, is to look at the ways in which you tether yourself to your own grief. You tether yourself to hurt and sorrow. What are the ways that you do this, and why do you do that? Embracing the Uranian aspect of Sunday might actually be good for you, Virgo. It will give you a chance to consider whether you might be afraid of what it would be like to recover from that sorrow. What are you doing, Muño? I'm trying to record a video, sweetie. Cats, what are you going to do? For Libra, the Wheel of Fortune again. This is a week to counter blessings. Very, very, very strong feelings of that from this card, Libra. This is a week to counter blessings, to see where fortune has been with you, where the scales have been weighted in your favor, if you like. I definitely think that again, it's a chance to count your blessings and then to try to keep yourself from getting bound up in them too much. You want to. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. You want to challenge yourself to continue to grow. You've had a lot of good fortune as far as growth goes. You want to continue that forward momentum. For Scorpio, we have the Father of Swords. This week, the vibe that I'm getting from this card for you, Scorpio, is that you get to play this role this week. You get to be the father or the king of swords. The arbiter of justice and the icon of the intellectual and the rational and the right. But I see more anger in this owl's eyes than is usually present, and to sting is in your nature, Scorpio. It always has been. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't sting. I'm just maybe counseling you to be a little more judicious about it, because you will be in the position where if you sting for the wrong reasons, the repercussions of that are going to be long lasting. If every action we take is a ripple on the surface of a pond, using your stinger incorrectly this week, Scorpio, might be like throwing in a boulder. And you don't want that. Sweetie. You don't want to say hi to all the nice people? Come here. Well, there she is. Our little noisemaker. After Scorpio, we have Sagittarius. The Five of Pentacles. You can't really see them all that well. They're hiding up here. Really strong, like, Beauty and the Beast vibes from this card. That might just be because of the wilting rose. It's a tough one. There is always potential for there to be beauty in sorrow. There is, if you like, there is every dark cloud has a silver lining, Sagittarius, and I really get the feeling from this that, like, some sad thing is passing. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, and even if I get close to the camera, I'm not sure that it'll work, but it's raining on that wilting rose. There is water. There is the promise of life. Some sad thing is coming to an end. Something that was hurtful for you is almost over. And this is your chance to grieve and let it go, because Sunday's going to catalyze what remains into something new. And you will want to have the negativity out of the way so that you can pursue having this rose, this garden grow. But that does mean that it's time to let go, which can be even more difficult than the grief itself. For Capricorn, we have the Ten of Pentacles. The 10th one hides in the middle of the center one. Kind of tough to see. Let me get closer for you. See, there it is. Right there in the middle. 10 of Pentacles, Capricorn. I like to think of this as the card of legacies. I mean, like, if you look at this, it looks like the rings of a tree trunk. lasting abundance, lasting growth, lasting peace, lasting joy. You found some. Where? Where have you found it, Capricorn? Embrace that. Whatever it is, wherever it is that you found this lasting prosperity, this lasting joy, this lasting abundance, seize it. Take ownership of it. Take command of it, because this is going to be the thing that, again, Sunday is a catalyst. And you will want to catalyze this into something greater. You will want to try to crystallize this, if you can, into something not just lasting but permanent, if you can. And so you need to spend I think you should spend the next few days trying to identify what that is in your world, and doing what you can to get it ready for the transition from enduring to immutable. For Aquarius, the star, the omen of things to come. This is a really great future-minded card for a future-minded sign, not least because in the other deck, the star is Aquarius is represented by the star. So this is your card, Aquarius. The star is for you. Again, like I said, a very forward-thinking card for a very forward-thinking and future-minded sign. And it's the card of omens. This week, I think they're mostly good omens, despite the fact that your ruling planet is going retrograde. Hold on, hang on a minute. I wish this thing would just sit in one place and not move. So, the star. Give yourself a chance to daydream about your future. And I do literally mean daydream. Let it consume you if you have to. But over these next few days, really give that some thought. Really think about what you want your future to look like. To be able to see the stars, you have to look at the sky. With both eyes open. I realize it's ridiculous for me to say while I'm wearing an eye patch, but look up at the sky with both eyes open, Aquarius. What's up there? What do you see? And then what can you do to go get it? Sunday will help you with that latter part, but you still have to have a roadmap. This is your chance to get there. For Pisces, the Ace of Cups. I really like this card. It's really pretty. They're all really pretty. I love this deck. Pisces, this is the beginning of... It could be a lot of things, honestly, for you. It could be the beginning of some new creative endeavor, some new emotional connection. Really, the ball is sort of in your court here. Again, it's a lot of possibility. But whatever you do will be accelerated by Sunday. So I feel it's really important that since it's the ace, that it stands alone, that you choose one of these things in particular, whether it's emotional or spiritual or creative, and run with that. But try not to pursue all of those things at once. That's the part that doesn't seem wise to me. You can do one of these things well with the energy that's coming, not all of them. So pick the one that you feel is that you have the best feeling about, channel some of that Piscean intuition and go for it. But go for it, not them. It. Singular. One. For Aries, the Devil. For you, Aries, this is a chance for all of us, and I say us because, as you know, I'm an Aries myself, to cultivate an attitude of overthrowing bad habits, of overthrowing ways of being that are self-restricting and self-limiting, and a kind of comfortable that is a prison. And continuing to dwell in these when there is an opportunity to go forward and do better is to be both the jailer and the damned at once. So it's time to analyze, for us to analyze these self-limiting thoughts and behaviors and modes of being, and do away with as many of them as we can. This is a chance to really better ourselves as people. And we should take this opportunity while we have it, because it doesn't come around very often. For Taurus, we have the Nine of Cups. There are people who will tell you that this is a wish fulfillment card. And, depending on where and when and for whom, sometimes I agree, sometimes I don't. But I definitely get the feeling that, this is a chance for what you need to do in this time, Taurus, is either to fill your cup or to appreciate the ways in which it is full. If you belong to the former group, find those things. I get the very strong feeling from this card, from this Nine of Cups, that a lot of that is going to have to do with family or with very strong emotional contacts. So maybe very close friends. But this is a chance for you to fill your cup. If your cup is already full, then this is just a chance to appreciate that. Because you lose, sometimes when you boil water, you lose a little bit of it. And something about the way that Sunday's energies are going to shake up this Nine of Cups for you, Taurus, will help you to see that some of the things you've been using to fill your cup are not the healthiest things to be drinking. Whether your cup is empty or full right now, this is still the lesson to be learned. Some of the things that you use to fill your cup are not the healthiest things to be drinking. For Gemini, we have the Two of Cups. Much more romantic, this card, I think, than the Two of Cups is depicted in other decks. Now, you're the twins, Gemini. And it may interest you to know that the ancient Greeks really idealized the relationship of twin siblings, to the point that it was their notion of what a marriage should be. It's not a coincidence that Apollo and Artemis are twins, and they were two of the most revered Hellenic deities. You also, again, the imagery of two is all around you this week, Gemini, and I really think it would be the energy that began for this is that what it is it's time to bring your one-to-one affairs in order. Sort of set right your most important one-to-one relationships. Because one of the things that Sunday is going to do for you is peel away the ones you don't need anymore. So the more work you do to solidify the ones that, maybe there's a little bit of a struggle, but, normally this is a good thing for you. You want to, really sit with, I think, Gemini, you really want to sit with the people who are good for you, or the people that you think are good for you, and determine whether or not that's actually the case. Because come Sunday, and its fall and the fallout from it, you'll start to see whether or not those estimations of other people's character are accurate or not. You have to excuse me, sometimes I'm a forgetful bitch, and I wanted to make sure that we were doing this right. Last but most certainly not least is Cancer, and we have the Tower. I think I'm even more intimidated by this version of the Tower than I am by the Rider-Waite one. Perhaps alone among the signs of the zodiac this week, Cancer. It feels to me like it's the run-up to Sunday and not Sunday itself that will be harrowing for you. That will be, this very, in a very shocking fashion, it's going to be revelatory for all of us. But you alone of the sun signs, Cancer, are going to welcome those changes as a reprieve, I think. A lot is changing for you. A lot is going to change for you. And it's all going to change very, very quickly. In essence, the Tower could probably be used to summarize Sunday. But what you're going through now, Cancer, and what you'll be going through in the run-up to Sunday is, it's not so much a preface to Sunday as Sunday is sort of the epilogue to it. Whereas a lot of us are going to be dealing with some fallout from the changes that get made. For you, Cancer, they're going to be more in the vein of tying up loose ends. Not for nothing am I about to point out that Mercury has to leave your sign, Cancer, in order to enter Leo, and do so for the last time that it'll do it this year. But you are, again, this for you, this is a culmination and a summation, where for the rest of the zodiac signs, this is the catalyst for the beginning of something. For you, this is a very final stamp on the end of something. The good news that the vibe that I get from that Tower is that it's it's settled. The matter is settled. Whatever is being, whatever is shifting, whatever is changing, by Sunday it's settled. It becomes the new foundation on which to grow. But you've been going through a lot of changes, and they're going to pick up a lot of steam here to get you to this ending. So that is Tarot Tuesday for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, as always, to like, share, subscribe, sign up for the newsletter, and I will see y'all next Tuesday.